Rotten. Episode 4.
Episode 4.
I can't believe we've made it 4 episodes.
I
I mean,
I
I
think
can, but I can't.
yeah, and I feel like it goes by so
It
fast.
does.
Like, the weeks go by so quick,
I
and
know.
it's like, "Oh, it's time to record."
And then every time I wonder, like, how are we gonna keep coming up with new topics to talk about? Like, there's just, like, a running list.
There are
So many.
so many, and that's what I was thinking, like, walking the dogs, I was like, "Man, right and wrong, it just feels right."
Right.
And I feel like this is a great kinda avenue to
Yeah.
pursue after
Yeah.
last week. 'Cause even with that, I mean, freedom of movement, is that right or wrong?
It depends on where you go.
Where you go.
Yeah. And I'll just put that out there. I may ruffle some feathers with this one because I have a different belief than a lot of people. It is a hot
Right.
topic in the yoga community. This is my personal opinion. This is what I believe, and it's what I teach from, and it's what I built this space on.
Right.
I hate the words right and wrong in this room. And you hear me say it often that there's no such thing as right or wrong. What feels right to you?
Right. Are you getting and that's what we've talked about too, is that finding the purpose of the pose.
Yeah.
Once you find the purpose of every
Pose.
asana that you're in, it might look different. So
Yes.
how are we just as instructors, as yoga teachers, how are we supposed to say, "Oh, well, because your body doesn't look right, you're wrong."
Mhm.
And but are you getting the benefit? Are you getting the stretch, the opening that you're trying to get in the moment?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that's
So there's a lot of topics that this could
oh yeah.
fan into. I'm gonna pick one to start with, and I don't know, we'll go from there. But right or wrong as far as alignment. That
Oh
is
yeah.
always what comes to mind. I've had many a conversations on both sides of the spectrum,
Mhm.
basically, about right and wrong as far as alignment. Like as yoga teachers, when you go through training, you're given so many cues
Right.
to give to your students, and sometimes, like, or at least my experience, we weren't even really given a reason necessarily why we gave those cues. We were just told that's the way it is, and that's what you give, and that's fine. It gives you a base to start from. But in my years of teaching, I have really started diving deeper into, notice that word again. I do love to dive deeper.
Yeah.
Is that why are we giving that cue?
Right.
Can you actually harm your body if your alignment is different than what the pose is calling for? And the broad answer, general answer, I will say, is no. Yes, there are some, very few, in my opinion, there are very few poses that done out of alignment can cause harm to your body.
Right.
But if you think about the human body and the way that it is built, our joints and all you hear about the knees a lot, you
Mhm.
hear about the ankles a lot, you hear shoulders, all of these things that people commonly, harm or whatever. And in most poses, we're taught to cue it a certain way so that you don't harm these joints. But if you actually study the human body, and I rely on people that have studied it way more than me because I only have so much time in a day. So I lean and look towards people that literally spend their time studying human anatomy and what the body is meant to do. And if you take the knees, for
Mhm.
example, our joints, our knee joints, they are meant to stand a range of movement.
Right.
We do not walk through our day standing still. I mean, you can't walk if you're standing still. I guess that was kind of an oxymoron.
I like how you describe walking upstairs. I think you use that.
Mhm,
I've heard this,
mhm.
but we were talking about the knees past the ankle.
Yeah,
And I actually asked a personal trainer this the other day about a squat.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, knees, you're supposed to keep your knees above your ankles when you squat down. Well, and they told me everybody's femurs are
different.
totally different.
Well, and that
Are
goes into your ankle flexion too. Not
yes,
everyone has ankle mobility,
where
so
you
you're not
can
gonna be able to do that.
right,
But how many times have you heard the cue in half pigeon, flex the foot to protect the knee?
right.
I was told to give that
I have
cue.
said that
I
to
have
you.
also said that
Yes.
cue. I don't now because I've done a lot of research when it comes to that. Crescent lunge, warrior one, warrior twos, they're all taught the knee should be directly over the ankle, never past the
Right,
ankle. And I disagree. Our joints are meant to withhold
right.
a load in all different you think of sports and stuff. You've got to move side to side and you've got all of these things. So if you aren't testing those limits,
Right.
you're not strengthening those muscles to their full capacity. I guess I look at it as every person is going to be different. Every body
Mhm.
is going to be different. I had this conversation with one of my instructors. He's been teaching for a very, very long time. Respect his opinion
Right.
very much. And we have some deep conversations, kind of breaking down like what we were taught, what we believe in. And I think when you come from a place of this is how it's written, so this is how it should be done, which is Ashtanga yoga is very much like that. It's meant to look this way, it shouldn't look another way. I disagree. My body doesn't move the same way everyone else's does. Some parts of me are very flexible and some are not.
Right.
So I'm going to make the practice meet my body where it is today instead of making my body meet the practice
Right.
where it is, wherever the teacher calls it to be. So, your knee, can it be past the ankle? Well, yes, it can. Are you going to get the full benefit of the pose as it was intended? No.
Right.
And I think that's where maybe some teachers don't quite understand that concept that Y yes, if you are not in that exact alignment, will you get every benefit this pose was meant to be
Mhm.
or you were meant to get? No, you won't. However, could you get different benefits from
Right.
your knee being past your ankle or out to the side or
Right.
to the inside? Yes, you could get different benefits.
Saying this, I'm feeling it. I wanna get up and do a demonstration.
Okay,
And I want you to talk about that
okay.
while I'm in different poses and kinda talk about the difference and what the purpose of the pose is,
You're
and we're
really
just gonna
picking my brain.
I'm not doing my arms because
No, you don't have
I
to.
have to do our
You
arms.
leave
We're
that.
talking about our legs.
All right. So knee is directly over the ankle right now.
Right.
All right. So what happens if you let it come forward? Do you feel any pain?
I do not feel any pain, no.
Is it harder?
It doesn't feel right
Do
in
you
me
feel it?
personally.
Do you feel it here?
I feel it more in my ankle and my foot.
Okay, because your ankle's moving a lot.
Yeah.
So what this does when you turn this on, it makes your ankle do some work.
Right.
It's testing out that flexion in your ankle. So is it wrong? No, but you're getting a different benefit out of it. So what's happening is energetically wise,
Mhm.
your bones are not stacked for the energy to be moving directly through the body.
Right.
That's not always the end goal though. Sometimes, like if our body is asking for different things, what you're gaining is ankle mobility. You know what you need that for?
Mm.
Malasana,
Yeah.
Skandasana. You know how hard it is to get your heel down in Skandasana
Right.
or Malasana when people are up here on the heels because they don't ever test this.
Right. Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I feel more stable personally. I feel more stable knee over ankle, but that's just how I've practiced
But
for
yeah,
so long.
yeah.
And then sometimes I come back here and
You
it's a
also
little
you
mm,
also have a very short stance in Warrior One.
oh heck yeah, dude.
So
Yes.
like move that front foot forward some more. A lot more.
Keeping my back hip forwards, my knee is not able to
Close
come
down here. Uh-huh. And then just stack it directly over. So you're in alignment now.
right.
Mhm. But you're getting more benefits from this right here.
Oh
See
yeah.
how it turned on?
Super turned on.
All right. So that's what happens if this is all you have to give is here.
Right.
That's fine. That's
Right.
totally fine. And you can play around here. You can move it forward. You can move it side to side. And you're getting different benefits from this. You want to get the full benefit of the pose, move it forward, widen that stance some more. Because then what's going to happen? I literally cannot take it past,
Right.
I cannot take it past my ankle
Right.
because this is all I have to give right here. I can't give
Right.
anymore. So show it from the front so we can do
Okay.
side to side. Show it from the front.
So here's a front.
There's that short stance again.
I know,
We'll
I'm
start
getting there.
there.
I'm working in my
You
warrior
could have
two getting
you could have
wide.
switched legs. Why don't you switch legs?
Okay, let's do that.
Smart plan. Switch
Yeah.
legs. Uh-huh. All right. So there you are.
Ooh,
So then what
balance.
happens if we let the knee roll out to the side?
Woo.
What happens? What do you feel in the bottom?
My leg's turning on a little more, and I feel it
Does it
more
turn
in my
on
knee.
here or out here? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So there's a benefit that you're getting from
Right.
that. Also the benefit of the ankle. Now move it to the inside. What turns on?
Out here in the outside,
Mhm.
I don't like it.
Mhm.
I like
And which is fine.
I don't
You
like
don't
it in
have I
there.
mean, you don't have to. But it doesn't mean you're harming your body.
Right.
It means that you are turning on different parts of your body that are not used to working. So you could hold a regular warrior one for quite some time. You've been practicing a long time. You could hold this for quite some
Mhm.
time. Kind of passive for you at this point. Now take that front foot forward some more.
My knee starts coming in
Uh-huh.
as I go
Because it
forwards
wants to.
because the turning on that
Uh-huh.
leg.
Okay. Now bring it forward some more so that we're over the ankle.
Oh,
Not the foot.
my
Leave
knee.
the foot right where it is.
Take it back.
Okay. Bring the knee forward. Okay. So now move it out to the side.
Ooh, a
Turn on.
lot more.
Turn on. Now
Yes.
move it in. Turn
Ooh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
We say a lot of poses, and I'm like, we need to start kind of getting up and be like, this is what we're talking about.
Okay. I like it.
Um,
I like it. Well, you get to see it in action because it is. You'll go to a lot of studios and you will hear certain and I've heard the same cues reverberated. Oh, and I know that just comes down like the lineage. It has to just come down the lineage. I now follow a lot of influencers that study the body
mm,
and they break down kind of the myths of yoga. And so in a class, when I see someone doing something different, I like to walk over and ask, how does that feel? Now
right.
try this. How does that feel? And they go, that doesn't feel good. Okay, then don't do that.
Then don't do that.
Then
Right.
don't do that. I don't do it all the time, but in my personal practice, I let my knee move around
Mhm.
because I'm working on that ankle mobility. Where in your life are you working on ankle
Do we
mobility?
ever physical therapy?
Ever.
That's it, and
Which
that's if you
essentially is
have
yoga.
to. So I
Y
yes.
Physical therapy essentially is yoga poses, just stagnant,
Right.
right? We're just not in a practice, but, like, ankle mobility will change your
Mhm.
practice in a lot of different poses. Well, how do you build that other than just taking those poses?
Right.
You can build it in other poses. So, it is not wrong to let your knee roll out. In Warrior Two, it is not wrong to let your knee roll in.
Mm.
Yes, if you want the full benefit of the pose, you're gonna take that knee out towards the pinky toe. You're gonna roll it outwards, but it's not wrong to let it roll inwards either. You're just working a different part of the body.
Right. And that too, I mean, is how are we showing up on our mat that day?
Yeah.
Are we do we need to kind of maybe take it a little easy for that day,
Mhm.
for that practice? Or are we really we're here to engage everything on the mat. We're taking it to the fullest expression that we can,
Yeah.
because sometimes I know my practice is not as crisp, I guess you could call, or it's just not as far
Yeah.
as I would take it on some days,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean, I gave that part of the intention today. It doesn't have to be complicated to be hard. It doesn't have to be difficult
Right.
to be hard. Going back to the basics and building the basics, the foundation of the poses
Mm.
will help the rest of your practice in so many ways. But that foundation may look very different for you. And look at how many times it's okay in yoga, and it's cute that it's okay for the knee to go past the ankle. Low warrior. Let's just talk about low warrior. We don't have you ever looked around and go, "Oh, no, girl, you need to scoot that knee back." I've never said that to anyone,
Yeah.
even though I've given the cue. No, it was years ago since I've given it that, "Oh, the knee should not go past the ankle in order to protect the knees." Uh, but low
Yeah.
warrior, it goes past the knee all the time. When you walk upstairs, that was absolutely me because that was
Right.
one that I love to give.
Yes.
You walk upstairs, maybe not on a daily basis, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
You might do it on a daily basis, but you wouldn't think twice to walk upstairs. Your knee goes past your ankle every time you walk
Every
upstairs.
time.
I don't think there's really a way to do it without your knee going past the ankle
Right.
because your center of gravity has to move forward.
Forwards.
And so, what, we're not supposed to walk upstairs anymore?
That's a great example too. Your energy has to move
Yeah.
forwards, knee over ankle. Let's just take crescent
Hmm.
lunge to airplane.
Hmm. Has to move
You
forward.
have to move forward.
Yeah.
So having that ankle mobility.
Lots of yoga teachers call that all the time. However, they're also going to give you that same cue
Don't let
to
the knee.
not let the knee go past the ankle. Yeah.
Mind blown. And then talking about it, I mean, it really does. It I'm telling you, it hit me the other day, and I was like, "Dang!" So I mean, in a push up, I mean, people say that there's right and wrong ways. Our chaturangas, everybody's chaturanga is going to look different.
Yeah.
I mean, there is
Your
a
mobility is different.
exact wrists,
Yep.
elbows,
Yep.
shoulders. I mean,
Yeah. So we step back into high plank.
right.
We use an inhale to shift forward, which to the tippy toes. But what's really happening? That's a great way to cue it, and people don't even necessarily realize. But what's happening is it's getting your shoulders past your wrist.
Right.
And so when you go to lower down, you create this L shape with your arms.
Mhm.
And if you don't shift forward, then you're coming down here,
Yeah.
which is also okay. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Some people don't have the shoulder mobility
Right.
for that. Some people don't have the wrist mobility in order for that to happen, and that's okay too.
Right.
However, my preferred method is to shift forward, get those shoulders past the wrist, which is also something we're taught not to do.
Right.
So that
Understand.
when you lower, you are stacked. When you
You
lower
are,
down,
yes.
you are stacked and you make this L because I truly believe in allow your bones to bear a lot of the load.
Right.
And if you are allowing your bones to bear the load, then your joints aren't having to work so hard. Your muscles aren't having to work so hard. That's less wear and tear that you're putting on the rest of your body. Bones are solid, bones are strong.
Right.
They're meant to bear this load. We walk around all day long, don't even think about the bones that are holding us up,
And they do. They
and they
do.
carry our entire weight all day long.
I like the right and wrong too, even like with bar and Pilates. I've really focused a lot on my body, which other people might be totally different because my training in bar told me to keep a straight line, shoulders over ankles. And in doing that personally, I destroyed my knees.
Mhm,
I was putting so much weight on my knees hinging. So instead of sinking back into my heels and turning my legs on,
mhm,
I was harming
mhm.
the joints. And I didn't think about that until, maybe classes later. And I'm like, holy cow, I need to stop cueing it this way. And I love the right and wrong because it
Everyone's different.
it doesn't exist in a way,
Yeah,
right and wrong because
yeah,
everybody is different.
yeah.
Literally.
I just think the majority of if your feet are on the ground
Right.
and you're bearing load onto it, it is, I won't say impossible, but it is very hard to harm yourself by letting the knee move in different directions.
Right.
Your ankle should be able to support the knee moving in a circle. If you're in a
Definitely.
crescent lunge or a warrior one, anywhere where your leg is in front, back leg is behind you, and that front, hip is in flexion, you should be able to move that knee in a circle. It could be a small circle, it could be a big
Right.
circle, depends on what your ankle mobility is, but it should not harm your body.
And that's I think for my body, an accumulation of me doing things for my body that I knew in the moment did not feel right.
Mhm.
But I continued to do it because, oh, well, that's what's cued. That's how I learned. Whether it feels right in my body or not, I'm going to do it because that's what I'm being told.
Yeah.
And that's what I like so much about the right or wrong is, well, that doesn't feel right. And what you're saying doesn't feel right in my body. So I need to do it different
Mhm.
for me to get what I need to get out of this pose or this exercise.
Yeah.
And it might be wrong to you,
Mhm.
but for me, it's right.
Mhm.
And I love that. And like I was saying too, I mean, that can go into so many different
Mhm.
aspects of the studio, right?
Mhm.
So how we dress, how, what's the right or wrong attire. Um,
There isn't.
what
I
there,
have people
yeah,
that come in pajamas.
uh, power to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
No,
wish I could live in pajamas.
tell me about, I mean,
There is no right or wrong.
no.
I mean, to me, there is no right or wrong in
You
that.
shouldn't have to worry about, "Oh, do I look like I am?" The only reason I put this on is because I know I'm gonna do yoga in a little bit,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be sweating because 'cause I'm a sweater,
Mhm.
and I need something tight to not get in my way and suffocate me.
Yeah. So that's
But
essentially what I mean. I don't
right,
particularly love to move in pajamas.
right.
I prefer to have tight clothes that are not falling over my face and like down dog. My goodness, how many times I've worn,
Your hair's like
you
your
know,
your
like it,
shirts.
yes. If I was to go to the gym, I could wear a big
Big
shirt.
shirt.
And I love that. It's so
Right.
comfy, so cozy. I will wear it home all day long. But if I come up here in a big shirt, I hit a down dog and
Yeah, I'm not.
it's on my face, and I don't love that. So it's what I prefer.
Right.
Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong
Exactly.
to wear whatever you like to wear.
And it doesn't have to be like a certain brand. I know there's so
And it
many.
doesn't have to match.
It does not
You
have
know we're
to
big on
match.
that. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
match.
No, I really do. I try so hard to come in here looking like a fool sometimes because I'll like you. It
You don't
shouldn't
have to
be.
have expensive
Yeah,
clothes to
you
do
don't have to
yoga.
have name brands.
Yeah.
Now, are they super cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can afford
And
them.
well, and I have a few. They're not big brand names
Yeah,
just because 'cause I'm cheap. I'm a cheap person.
it's a
But do
Depop.
I have, like, some cute yoga sets that match? I do.
Right.
I also bought them on sale or I bought them on whatever, so please don't look at me like I have all this money. That is so not me. But I might have bought that entire set for $20, top and bottom,
Right.
and it happens to match,
You just
and I do like it when they match, but also,
they don't have
most of the
to.
time, what you see me in is one colored shirt and one colored pants. Half my pants are black, and I have colored shirts,
Right.
and then I can wear whatever.
And I love that, like, just kinda what we were talking about last time too. I mean, just kn knowing knowing that there is no right or wrong really gives you permission to have that freedom of expression,
Yeah.
you know, and freedom of expression with your clothing. I mean, you don't have to come in here any type of way with your hair. You don't have to be all slicked back,
Yeah.
with whatever. I mean, same thing with the music. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
girl.
think any of us that teach in the studio, and I love that, might not be what everybody may expect in a yoga class. I don't
Girl,
know.
you know my playlists are out there, so
Right.
I played Eminem this morning
I love it.
in a yoga class, but you know what we were doing when Eminem was playing? Oh gosh, I can't even lose yourself in the moment.
Yes.
We were doing Sundays, breath to breath,
Oh, go,
hard. It is go,
go.
go, go, and everyone loved it. I just look at it, what's gonna bring people back? So, yes, there are some people, they may prefer no lyrics in yoga.
Right.
I don't think that's wrong. I
Yeah,
really don't. It's not right for me, and
exactly.
that's okay. I also can attend a class that they have no lyrics in the class, and I can have a wonderful practice. What I prefer to teach, I'm gonna have some fun music in there
Right.
because that's what I like. I don't think that's wrong, and I don't think that it's wrong to not have lyrics in your music. You know, I yoga instructor that believed that for a very long time, that played, mostly non-lyric music for a long time. Nothing wrong with it.
Mm.
Never, but we got into a discussion about it one night. We got into a discussion, a tip, if you will, about it was candid. I mean, it was friendly,
Right. Very, yes, yes,
but
yes, yes,
why
yes.
do you believe that that's wrong? Because you love coming to my classes and hearing fun music. I watch you walk around while
Right.
you're practicing, and then I watch your energy level lift, and you leave happy, you had a great practice, and so you don't think it's wrong because you enjoy it, to come and practice. But why is it in your teaching you feel it is wrong to play music with lyrics in it?
Mhm.
And it was a great conversation that we had about it, and now they play lyrics in their music, and I don't take credit for that. That was their own. They had to evolve
Evolution.
that way.
Right.
They had to change kind of the way of thinking. And that does that mean I am catering to people just so they keep coming to yoga? Kinda. Kinda, because I think yoga is magic,
Right.
and I want people to continue to enjoy yoga. And so if you come and you're not enjoying it, chances are you aren't gonna come back.
Right.
Some people feel that magic the very first time that they're here, or on their mat doing a yoga class. But I think a lot of time it takes a few.
Right.
It takes a few classes for you to be like, now wait a minute. I felt really good for several days after I went to a yoga class. So I should
Mhm.
keep going. It was hard while I was there.
Right.
I didn't necessarily love it while I was there, but I feel it working for days afterwards, because the magic of yoga doesn't happen if you aren't practicing yoga. If you aren't doing it,
Yes.
you don't get the magic of it. So if that brings them back and they continue to come and they enjoy their practice and they start working on different things, then that's the magic of yoga. I make jokes in my yoga classes all the time.
And that right there too is that okay?
I think so.
Is that, as an instructor, is it okay to make jokes?
I think
Because I
so.
think that is something that does help bring them back,
Yeah.
letting them
It's
know, "I'm just a
personable.
person." Yeah,
I'm just a human.
I'm just another person,
I'm
and
giving
yeah.
suggestions. Girl,
Yeah.
last night I played the song Under Pressure. And that was literally I gave that cue. I don't even remember what we were doing, what pose we were in, and I was like, "But no, I mean, no pressure."
No, right. I
Yeah,
love it. Yes.
everyone laughed and giggled, and guess what? They all did it,
Right.
because there was no pressure. But I make jokes all the time. That's just the type of human that I am, and I try to show up authentically myself. And so if there's an opportunity to be sarcastic, I'm not gonna pass it up because that is who I am as a person. I came by my humor very honestly from my dad, and that is who you will experience outside these doors as a humorous person. Or at least I try to be. Maybe not everyone thinks I'm, but I think I'm funny.
Right, that's all that matters.
So that's all that matters. And I'm gonna keep making those jokes because what happens too when you're on the outside watching as an instructor,
Mm.
you are on the outside of a class. I mean, I'm in the class with them, but I'm watching bodies and what seems to happen, it's a softening that happens. Their shoulders soften down. They stop tensing up as much because they're more relaxed.
Mhm.
And that's the magic of yoga. So if I can help you find that by making a fool of myself even,
Right.
I will.
And
I
that's it.
will.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I feel like a lot of people, just kind of like this chick who told me last night, she said it's so much easier to fail or to look like a
Ooh.
fool by myself instead of in front of a lot of people.
That's a whole nother
I
topic.
know. But
That's
I
a
was like,
whole nother
you don't have to
topic.
worry about coming in here
No.
and doing it right. Be wrong,
Mhm.
fall, let yourself feel that way. And that's
See,
okay.
and I
It doesn't
think
have to be
there's
a right way, or you can be wrong and it can be right.
I think there's a lot of people that honestly would probably disagree with me on this, but just my personal thing. I love to applaud in a way when someone fails. And the
Yes.
reason for that is not, I am not mocking. By any
Right, right,
means,
right,
I
right.
am
No,
not
yeah, yeah.
mocking. I am applauding that you tried.
Right.
And I give intentions about that,
Yes.
that showing up, trying, even knowing that you may fail and just accepting whatever shows up, that's where your real strength lies.
Right.
Because out there in the world, we are taught to hide our failures. We're meant to, we tuck that away. We put that into the closet. We don't want anyone to see where we failed. And in here, I want to see where you're failing. Because you know what happens when you fail? You learn something new every time.
And you can get
You
back up and
learn
try again.
something new every time that you
Yes.
fail. Do you think that the person next to you that you're seeing go upside down got that the first time? Well, they might have. I mean, they might have. Awesome if they did,
Right.
even better. But I guarantee you they fall on the floor.
Oh,
I guarantee it. Or they took it to a wall and they fell into the wall, or they utilize, whatever. So failure to me, I've learned to accept that word,
oh,
and that word I actually love that word now, because instead of getting frustrated about failure, failure is a step forward. Failure is you tried something new.
yeah. Yes.
You were willing to accept whatever showed up.
Right.
You tried something knowing you might fail. And that was okay. That was
Yes.
okay. And you tried it anyways. And the next time you go, you're already set and ready that if you fail again, that's going to be okay too.
It's all about
We're gonna smile about it. Your teacher might give you a little. I love a good roly poly down
yes.
here. I say that so often because I really do.
I do.
I love when I see someone try to get upside down or go into an arm mount and they just kind of roly poly their
Right.
way out of it, because it means you tried something new. And the next time you step up to try that, you're gonna be
Right.
a little more prepared. You gain some knowledge each time that you try, and eventually you're just gonna land it, and you're gonna have like this moment of, "Oh, I got it."
Right.
And then you'll probably fall out of it again because you got so excited. That's in my practice, that's what happens
Oh,
anyways.
for sure. I mean, I love failure as well. It opens the door to new opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you start, fumbling and tripping and falling and that's all right. You get back up, you pick yourself up,
Yeah.
and that's how you learn like, well, that didn't work. So let me
Let me try
try
this.
something a little different. Let me go about it this way. And it comes down, I mean, you said just like in life, where am I tripping? Where am I falling? Where can I do a little bit more with, maybe opportunities are
Yeah.
presenting themselves. Maybe, I've got this going on and well, maybe I really want to do it,
Yeah.
but I just can't do it right now. But maybe I just work towards it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, the other thing to point out that I see often, and I try to say this often, maybe not as often as I should, that when you fail, it is not always because you needed to try harder.
Mm,
Sometimes what needs to happen is you need to soften.
I like that.
You just do. Like, there are certain poses I will watch people and their faces all tight and all tense and everything. It's like so wound up into this ball. But have you tried softening?
Right.
Have you tried scanning through the body? Yes, I need to engage these muscles in order to get this pose, an arm balance, an inversion, whatever. But there are also parts of you that need to soften. And sometimes that soften, it needs to happen here.
Right.
It needs to happen in your brain, or it needs to happen in your heart.
Hmm.
That ego that steps up, that like, I have to get this, I have to, and you're pushing for it so hard. Where can you soften? Where can you soften down? Because that might literally be the only step that you're missing. End of episode.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
that
I
was a good
like
ending
that.
there.
That it no, that's a great end. I mean, that's because that is so true. I mean, and that just plays right into the right and wrong. You think you've got to be so strong. You got to
Yeah,
do it right. It's got to be perfect the first time or every time. It has to be right,
yeah,
and it just doesn't. It doesn't have to be. And that is a perfect example. Like you can soften down. You can be wrong in other people's eyes.
yeah,
You can it can just be a little different this time, and it might not be perfect, but
Well,
it's
the
right,
reality is you're already strong.
right.
Every person that walks through this I have yet to see a person walk through the doors of this studio that wasn't strong.
Mm,
Do you have different
definitely,
levels of that? For sure. You're already strong, but have you tried softening?
right.
Have you tried softening the ego, the mind, the all of the things that are like pushing you, I have to get it, I have to get it, I have to get it. Where can you soften down those expectations of
Mhm.
what's supposed to show up? And it actually might show up once you soften down
Let go of
expectations. Yeah,
expectations, right or wrong.
yeah,
Let go of what it maybe we're expecting or someone else is
yeah.
kind of expecting of us,
And it may look
and it's
different than
different.
your neighbor. Let go of that too.
Right,
Let go of that too. That is on me
right,
to soften to that idea and let it be.
and just let it be,
Yeah.
and that's because that's okay. It's okay to be not what
It's okay to be wrong.
yeah, it's
Let's
okay
just
to be
say it.
wrong.
It's okay.
That's what we wanted to tell you about.
All right. So that was episode 4. Let us know if there's something you want to hear us talk about because I mean, we do have lots of ideas still.
We've got some
We got some
ideas.
ideas and
Yeah,
we'll just keep running on those.
I love that.
I love it.
All right,
All right.
number 4.
See y'all later.
Peace.